First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Power, Abba Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, the RawChaa. Who are we? We are the real Jews that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
The prophets, priests, ministers, and teachers of the Most High Power. And we are out here to wake up our brothers and sisters from their slumber. It's time to wake up and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. When you turn on your TV, you turn on the news, you see everything going on in the world today. It's letting you know that the time is near. It's not time to play around.
That's
it's
right.
time to get up, wake up, come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments before you burn with this place.
Right.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 28.
Yeah.
Chaalaq, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me.
See, this is nothing new. This is the same story. We say the same thing that the Bible been saying. The prophets that came before us, read.
And before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
And we out here letting you know America will fall. It's that time. America is going to fall.
Right. And against great kingdoms of war.
War is coming. You turn on your news right now, you see China and Iran linking up. People seem to forget that America just bombed Iran, killed their second in command. You know what I'm saying? War is coming. We see the lineup for World War III right now as we speak.
And of evil, and of pestilence.
Evil and pestilence. COVID-19, even though it's a pandemic, it is real. That's a pestilence. Those locusts that was flying all over Africa, they was in Mexico also. Pestilence. It's all getting played out. Read that again.
Verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
And we out here letting you know that that time is now.
That's right.
It's all getting played out. Prophecies are getting fulfilled as we speak. Our people need to wake up and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's not time to play around.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 4. And YAHAWAH'S answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Our people need to wake up. See, because these Christian churches teaches all the way against the Bible. They teach you that the commandments are done away with. It's all about love. All they teaching there, all they pushing is homosexuality and pedophilia.
Right.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
And that's what they do. They run around all up in church talking about Jesus, Jesus, with a ham sandwich in their hand. Doing all type of abominations. Pastor sleeping with your wife. We don't deal with them type of things, right?
And shall deceive many.
They deceiving many. Having you thinking that you can live a lawless lifestyle and that you're going to be saved. All you got to do, you could be a rapist all your life, a homosexual all your life, and on your deathbed say, I believe in Jesus and be saved, go to heaven. What kind of madness is that? What kind of bipolar, dysfunctional God do you worship? When he's telling you in the Old Testament, you're going to die for homosexuality. You're going to die when Christ comes back and you holding a pork chop. But now, all of a sudden, you can do whatever you want and live. That don't make no sense. That's all the way against the scriptures. They deceiving many. We see this all getting played out. We don't.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Now we getting back at it. You want to hear of wars and rumors of wars. We see this rumor of war going on right now. Right now. World War III, mark my words, World War III is about to happen. This place will burn, thus saith the Most High.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass.
So there's nothing that you can do to stop this. They talk about, oh, praying it away. Help this country pray. This is what the Christian church teach you. But you hear Christ right now telling you all this must happen. Right?
But the end is not yet.
Oh, nah, that's not it. It's about to get a whole lot worse.
That's right.
Whole lot worse.
For nation shall rise against nation.
See, America is not a nation. America is a kingdom, or I like to say queendom. You know what I'm saying? Your nation is your nationality.
That's right.
When you look at that word in the Greek, it's ethnos. That's where ethnicity comes from.
Bring it up.
It says nation shall rise against nation, meaning there's going to be a full-scale race war.
That's right.
A full-scale race war. What side are you going to be on?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Full-scale race war about to break out, and we see they trying it right now. They pushing that. I see white boys posting up pictures with guns, talking about who's ready for the race war.
Right.
They ready. Are you ready? My people want to love everybody.
Right.
You want to love everybody while everybody hates your guts.
That's right.
Our people need to wake up and come back to their own. Love your own people. Keep these laws, statutes, commandments, and the Most High will fight for you.
Right.
Right?
And kingdom against kingdom.
And there goes World War III. So we're going to have a full-scale race war and then a full-scale World War III.
That's right. That's right.
And there shall be famines and pestilence.
And we see famines happen right now. Famines is breaking out. And just this last COVID, so-called COVID epidemic, right? Walmart, all these stores was empty. They didn't have no rice on the shelves, no noodles on the shelves, no meat. They didn't even have toilet tissue.
Right now.
They didn't even have toilet tissue. Now they talking about this second wave is supposed to be a lot worse than the first. Imagine how your shelves gonna look when you walk in the stores. Imagine. That famine is coming, guaranteed. I know everywhere I'm at right now in Salt Lake City, 3 major meat factories have closed down. So I can only imagine what's gonna happen next. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
And earthquakes in diverse places.
And earthquakes in diverse places. You look on the news right now, every day there's an earthquake somewhere. Puerto Rico been getting hit every day back to back damn near for the past 2 years. Past year, matter of fact. Every day back to back. And that's a place that used to not get hit. Even Jamaica got hit with an earthquake. And that's a place that don't normally get hit. Mexico constantly getting hit. Where I was at in Salt Lake City got hit with an earthquake, something that doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Read that again.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences.
And there's going to be famines and pestilence. COVID-19 is a pestilence. Again, them locusts, that's a pestilence. Right?
And earthquakes in diverse places.
And we see all these earthquakes. Every day there's a new earthquake. Turn your news, look it up. There's a major earthquake everywhere. Every single day. Right?
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
And we live in this right now. This is what we live in right now. And what did Christ say? All this is the beginning of sorrow. This is the beginning of sorrow. Imagine you in that place and it starts shaking, your whole house come down. Christ just said that's the beginning of your sorrow. It's about to get real hectic out here.
That's right.
You need to have the Most High fighting on your side. You're going to have the Most High fighting on your side if you plan on surviving this.
That's
right? Read.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
And it's crazy because we are already hated by every nation. We are already getting delivered up, thrown in prison cells, not doing nothing about it. We get locked up for nothing. We are getting killed for nothing.
That's right.
This is all the beginning of sorrows, thus saith Christ. Our people need to wake up and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You can drop that. Give me 2 Ezra chapter 9. We're going to start at verse 1. Read that for me.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 10. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I speak unto thee, receive in thine heart, and hear with thine ears. Verse 11, and go, get thee to them of the captivity.
See, that's the whole reason why we out here. This is a commandment of the Most High. We took this word in. We learned this. We received it in our heart. We heard in our ears, received it in our heart. And we came to our people, the people of the captivity. Believe it or not, you're still slaves to this day. Matter of fact, hold that. Give me Baruch. Baruch chapter, I believe it's 3 verse 4. We are still captive to this day. The fact that you gotta show a passport or buy a passport to even leave this country. If they say they don't want you to go, if you owe child support, you can't get no passport. You can't fly nowhere. You can't drive without their say so. Something between you and God and your wife as marriage, you can't even do without them. They make you pay for a license for that. Come. It says,
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8.
Bring it out.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
we are yet this day in our captivity. We are yet this day in our captivity. The only way you're going to get out this is when the Most High releases you. That time is coming. Don't get caught sleeping. Right?
That's right.
Where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a
We were scattered for a reproach. During the transatlantic slave trade, we went everywhere. Everywhere. Scattered for a reproach. Because we didn't want to listen to the Most High, right? Read.
and to be subject to payments.
See, paying taxes is being subject to payments. Paying taxes show that we in bondage still to this day. The fact that you don't even pay taxes. They take that out your check.
That's right.
I never had that agreement with them. I never told them I'm gonna pay a certain amount. They just take that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Property tax, whatever you own, whatever you buy, they gonna tax that. That shows that we are still in bondage to this day. Jump to chapter 4.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6.
Bring it out.
Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction.
See, the Most High sold us to the nations, right? The only way, you think about it, we are the most powerful people on this planet. I don't care what white man, Hulk Hogan, the biggest white man could walk in front of me. I know for a fact that if he try me, I'm going to put him out.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We know we are the salt of the earth. We are better than everybody. We are stronger than everybody. That's why our people get paid so much in sports.
Right.
That's why they dominate sports, music, everything you could think of, boxing. We are better at everything than anybody.
That's right.
So the only way that they could actually take us into captivity is because the Most High gave us over.
That's right.
Now, why would he do that? Because we didn't want to listen. We wanted to be hard-headed. So we got to get punished. You got to get that pow-pow. Right? Read on.
But because ye moved Yahweh to wrath.
Because we moved him to wrath. That's why we had to go in subjugation. That's why we had to go into bondage, in slavery. Right? Read.
Ye were delivered unto the enemies. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrifice unto devils.
Because you want to be in a Christian church, worshiping that white Jesus, that homosexual.
Right.
Caesar Borgia, that white image of Christ, that's a homosexual pedophile. But this is who you want to pray to. Our people worship the white man.
Right.
Our people worship the white man. It's sad, man. It's sad, and they push that on us since slavery. When you read this Bible, clearly Christ and all the Israelites were black people.
That's right.
Right? Read on.
And not to Yahweh.
We sacrifice and worship all these other deities and didn't worship the Most High. That's why we went through that. Our people want to be in a mosque praying to rocks. That Mecca, that stone, what's it called? The Kaaba stone in Mecca. Want to worship rocks. I see brothers walking around with Buddha around their neck. What is going on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can go back to 2nd Ezra now.
This is Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 11. And go, get thee to them of the captivity.
And that's why we out here. We trying to wake our people up. We out here because we love you.
That's right.
And it's sad because, you know what, all they say is, them Israelites, all they do is teach hate. The whole reason we out here, we take our time out to come out here to wake up our people. That's love. That's love, because I don't want to see my people killed. The Most High is not something you want to play around with.
Right.
He is not something you want to play around with. Everybody is the Most High's body. Matter of fact, hold that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. Most High is not nothing you want to play around with. Read that from the top. Read it from 10.
Verse 10. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thy heart, and hear with thine ears.
And we received all of this, right? We took it in, right? Read.
And go, get thee to them of the captivity.
We came out to our people. Our people are the people of the captivity. The people that the Most High love. The people that sinned against the Most High to even be taken into captivity, because these white people can't do it on their own.
Right.
They cannot go there and round us up. There's no way they could beat us like that unless the Most High delivered us in their hands, right? Read on.
Unto the children of thy people.
The children of our people. This is what the Most High told us to come to. The children of our people. We're not going to everybody else. We here for our people because we love our people, right? This is the commandment of the Most High. Read.
And speak unto them, and tell them, thus saith the Lord God.
And we out here, thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
Everything we say, we gonna get out this book. We out here, thus saith the Lord. This is not our own words, right? Read.
Whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
Because we know we're hated out here. A lot of our people don't want to hear us teaching this book. They put that book down. We're going to speak, thus saith the Lord Most High, whether you want to hear it or not.
That's right.
That's love, right? Jump down to verse 17.
Verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Most High made us watchmen. What does a watchman do? He sees the trouble coming and he warns his people. He sounds that horn. We are a watchman to Israel. Guess what? We see that sword coming. We see that trouble coming. We out here sounding that horn. Are you going to listen? Are you going to get prepared? Because the only way you get prepared is by keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. That's the only way you want to survive.
Right. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me.
We warning you of the Most High. Because like I said, he is nothing to be played with. The Most High is not something you want to play with at all. You could drop that. Give me Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24, verse 26.
32 verse 9. 32, 39. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 39. See now that even I, am he.
This right here is thus saith the Lord. This is the Most High speaking. Now you want to get a visual of the God that you're supposed to be serving. The creator of all, the God of Israel. This is what he says, right?
And there is no God with me.
There's no God with him. I want to make him a triune God. I don't understand how people see the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit and say that's all the same thing. Right. 1 + 1 + 1 = 1. What sense does that make?
Bring it out.
Right? Read.
I kill and I make alive.
Ooh. That's our God right there. Right. That's the Most High power.
Right.
Read that from the top.
See now that even I, am he.
See, he started that whole sentence off gangster. He started that whole thing off gangster. He's like, yo, I'm that dude. I'm him. You feel what I'm saying? See now that even I am he. Read.
And there is no God with me. I kill.
What?
I kill.
Read.
And I make alive.
Guess what? Anybody that died, that was the Most High.
That's right.
He signed off on that. He signed. Nobody can die without the Most High saying they could die. He said he kills. Read that again.
I kill and I make alive.
He kills and he makes alive. So if somebody got shot 100 times and they still living, that was the Most High.
Right.
If somebody didn't even get shot, they just walking down the street and drop up a heart attack, that's the Most High.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I wound and I heal.
So anybody that got wounded, that's because the Most High gave that call. Right? Read.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Nobody can deliver out of his hands. Nobody can deliver out of his hands. The Most High is not nothing you want to play around with. Hey, let's read on a little more. I was going to stop there, but let's read on a little more. He want to further let you know how gangster he really is.
For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I wet my glittering sword.
Yeah, that's the Most High. That's your father. That's why our brothers got this gangster spirit about them. That's why they want to join gangs, because they call him the Lord of Hosts in the Bible.
That's right.
YAHAWAH'S, which means Lord of Armies. Yahweh of Armies.
Right.
Means he controls every army.
That's right.
That Most High is not nothing to play with.
In my hand take hold on judgment. I will render vengeance to my enemies and will reward them that hate me.
Most High said he gonna take vengeance upon his enemies. I don't want to be on his bad side.
That's right.
Our people need to wake up because it's not time to play around.
That's
you go
right.
back to second half.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, and verse 26.
Bring it out.
For if we sin willfully,
If we willfully sin, because our people know they shouldn't be eating no damn pork.
That's right.
They know they're not supposed to be whores and whoremongers. Everybody in the world knows that the Bible says homosexuality is a sin.
Right.
But then still your pastor is marrying these people. Walking around with ham sandwiches on Sunday. Right? Read?
Right.
you know,
That's the pork chop.
after that we have received the knowledge of the truth.
So after you sin, you willfully doing these things, after you receive this understanding, what's going to happen?
There remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
This is for all those people in the Christian church talking about Christ died for my sins so I could do whatever I want now. Make no damn sense. This is a Bible right here. It says, yo, if you sin willfully, that sacrifice ain't even for you. That sacrifice is not for you. There's no more blood for sacrifice.
Verse 27. But a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation which shall devour the adversaries.
This is what we gotta look forward to. Fearful judgment and fire. That's what we gotta look forward to if we sin willfully. What's your question, brother?
It says in the Bible that if you pray over any food, you eat it.
Where does it say that at? Let's see. Let me ask you a question.
I don't know
Is
exactly.
God is God all knowing, all powerful?
He's all knowing and all powerful.
So he knows what he wants, right?
Yeah. So why
Give
would he
me
put
Malachi chapter 3 verse 6.
why would he
real quick.
put food on his planet?
It's not
that-
food. That's the thing. If I cook up a person and put it in front of you and say it's food, what you gonna tell me? Can you eat a person?
Depends on what it tastes like.
You know what? That's crazy, bro. But you see what I'm saying? It wasn't meant to be food.
But that's just like chicken. That's
No, it's not. It's not at all.
Why would it not be
Yeah,
about
it's why, because the Most High says it.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 6.
Bring it out. Bring it
For
out.
I am the Lord, I change not.
That's what God said, right? He's the Lord. He don't change. You got that, right, brother? He said he's the Lord. He changed not.
change not. For
For
what?
I am the Lord, I change not.
He don't change. So hold on for a second. We trying to establish something. He don't change his mind. If he says something, give me Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. Read that for me real quick.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7.
Bring it out.
And the swan, though he divide the hoof,
What's swan, brother? That's pork, right? That's pork. He said, now this God's law. He said it's Leviticus.
In the Revelation, after
This is Leviticus. This is
after
where he
Matthew.
gave the law.
Is this
Where
after
did things change?
Is this the new? Is this
Where
the
did
new
things
chapter
change?
or the old chapter?
What do you mean old chapter? This is Leviticus.
Okay, yeah.
This is
That's-
Leviticus.
that's
This is
in-
where he
that's
gave
in
the
Old
law of
Testament.
food. What
That's
does it
in the Old
matter?
Testament.
He changes
Yeah,
it.
you know what? Sit there, sit back. We're going to show you that nothing changed. Hold on. Read.
and the swan, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
Moses said the swan is unclean. So he said he never changed. Did he change his mind on that? Let's read on.
When did he change?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat,
He said don't eat the flesh, right? Read.
and their carcass shall ye not touch.
So you're not even supposed to be touching their dead bodies. Right? Read.
They are unclean to you.
The Most High said pork is unclean. Now did he change his mind? Give me Isaiah chapter 66, verse 17.
Bring it out. Bring it
We're
out.
going to start at verse 15, matter of fact. Isaiah 66, verse 15. Hold on, we're going to get that. We're going to see.
Matter of fact, hold that. Give me Matthew chapter 5 or 17, right?
Read that.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 15.
Bring it out.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
You know what this is talking about? This is talking about the day of judgment. This is looking past Christ right now. The day of judgment. He said he's coming with fire and chariots, right? Read.
To render his anger with fury.
Now he's angry. Why is he angry though? He gonna render his anger with fury, read on.
And his rebuke with flames of fire.
So he gonna kill and burn a lot of people, right? Read.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
This is how the Most High pleads, with fire and sword. I don't want him pleading with me.
That's right.
Right? Read on.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
The slain of the Most High shall be many. There's other scriptures that say there's going to be blood up to the horse's bridle. But let's read on why. Why it's going to be many. Read.
They that sanctify themselves.
Because some want to sanctify themselves. They want to go against the scriptures and make whatever they say righteous, right? Read.
And purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh.
Hold on, eating what?
Swine's flesh.
Eating what?
Swine's flesh.
Those that's eating swine's flesh, pork, read.
And the abomination.
And the abomination, shrimp, lobster, crab, everything that the Most High said was an abomination.
Bring it out.
It says that. You want me to read that too? Shrimp is an abomination. Shrimp, lobster, crab, all that, shellfish, abomination. We're going to get that for you too.
And the mouse.
And the mouse. So I suggest you stay away from that Chinese food.
That's right. Shall be consumed together.
Most High said he's going to kill them.
That's right.
He's going to kill them. Now, did he make that up? That's a future prophecy. Read this for me. Matter of fact, go back to Isaiah real quick. Isaiah first.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts.
You say pork is food. The Most High never said that. He told us don't eat it. He said his thoughts are not our thoughts. He told us not to eat pork, but what humans do, they wind up eating pork. Right, read?
Neither are your ways my ways.
Our ways, we can't even think on the level of the Most High. We're not going to move on his level. So whatever he tells us to do, we have to follow that.
That's right. Saith the Lord. Verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways.
His ways are way high. We can't imagine. But you know what's crazy? Because even with science now, you look at it, we're finding out that everything he told us to do had a scientific purpose. Like for instance, circumcised on the 8th day. That was law. You know a baby, their system, their immune system is the highest it will ever be on the 8th day. We finding that out now. Pork on the 8th day. On the 8th day. It says the 8th day. The Most High told us the 8th day. We seen that in science. It's saying the 8th day. You feel what I'm saying? That's how we gonna go with it. But at the same time, also with pork, you know pork don't really have pigs don't have pores. Like they hold all that disgusting stuff inside them.
That's right.
They hold all that in them. Everything they eat everything. Their purpose was in food. Their purpose was to be the garbage disposal of the earth. That's why they was here. Right? Read on.
Wake them up. And my thoughts than your thoughts. Read. Verse 10. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven.
See, now the Most High is giving you an example of how his word comes out, right? He said as the rain comes down and the snow comes down from heaven, read.
And returneth not thither.
They don't go back. They come down, they don't go back because they got a purpose.
But watereth the earth and maketh it bring forth and bud.
The whole reason is so that they could bring bud, right? They could water the earth, bring forth bud.
That it may bring seed to the sower and bread to the eater. Verse 11. So shall my word be.
That's how the Most High's word is. It comes down, hold on, let's finish this up real quick. It comes down so that it could, so the waters to earth bring forth seed so that the people can eat off of that. He said that's how his word is, read.
So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void.
Now, if that prophecy that we just read in Isaiah, where he said he's going to kill people that's eating pork, if that don't come to pass, that means his word came out void. You feel what I'm saying? How many ate pork? None of us did. It's time. That's why you got to repent. You could drop that. Give me Acts chapter 17, verse 30.
I just want to ask you one question.
Oh.
I would like you to do one thing for me.
What's that?
This is site on the website. It's called Zyklus.
I know about Zeitgeist, yeah.
You looked at that?
I've seen it before. Go.
Do you know that the book that you're reading from is missing a whole bunch of chapters that The white man.
What's the purpose of you even saying that then?
What's the purpose?
Yeah, you so
You
but
read
that
straight from that book.
yeah, and it proves everything about us. It shows this right here happening. This never happened to anybody else. It told us what we was gonna go through and why we went through this. This happened over 2,000 years after he told us it was gonna happen.
That's right.
The Bible prophesied about King Cyrus 150 years before he came before he was born. It talks about the Babylonian Empire, how the Persians was gonna take him out. This is all before it happened. He talked about the Persians taking him out, then the Greeks taking him out, then the Romans taking him out. Everything that this Bible said was gonna happen, happened exactly how he said it. Now you can't. If somebody tells you, "Oh, books was taken out," but you never read this book, how you won't even speak against
the
it?
whole book. I know the whole. I know
So you should know that pork is against the law.
That's right.
You told me that you could pray over anything. Where does the Bible say that? You told me that.
Chapters that are missing.
No, it's not in no chapters. But here, so then that makes God a liar then.
No, it makes what I read in this daggone book.
It wasn't the Bible. That's what I'm saying. No, it wasn't the Bible.
The whole Bible.
We deal with the whole Bible.
The whole Bible.
We deal with the whole Bible. What do you
Part of the story.
Listen,
You
brother.
gotta hear the whole
Listen,
story.
brother. Hear this. Hear this. This is what you need to do. Read
The whole
that.
The
story.
book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 30.
Bring it out.
In the times of this ignorance,
Because right now, brother, you're speaking with a whole lot of ignorance. You are. And now I'm not saying it trying to bring you down or nothing like that, because we all was in that situation. But what I'm trying to do is wake you up. He said in the time of this ignorance, because we didn't know better at one time.
Okay.
A lot of us didn't know we couldn't eat pork. You know what I'm saying? But we changed that lifestyle. So he said in the time of your ignorance, what?
God winked at.
He winked at that because you didn't know. But everybody is going to hear this word. And you're going to have a chance to repent. Now he said, hold on, we're going to finish this up.
But now commanded all men everywhere to repent.
It's time to repent. It's time to stop eating the pork, stop smoking the cigarettes, stop eating shrimp, lobster, and crab and all that stuff. Exactly. Exactly. And come back to the Most High. You are a chosen person of the Most
I
High.
got one more question.
What's that?
Watch this. It's a question somebody posed to me while I was locked up. It made me actually sit back and think. And I had to actually look in the book for it. God created man in his own image, right?
Some men, yes.
God created Adam. Who was the first man that he made on the earth?
The first man,
The first man that he made on the
the
earth.
Bible don't say he made humankind all together.
Made humankind.
Right.
Then where did
And
Adam
he chose Adam later on.
Where did Adam come from?
He chose Adam out of a special lineage.
And he put him where?
He put him in the garden.
Okay. Then he made Eve, right?
Okay.
Out of his rib. He put him to sleep and made
Okay.
Eve. Eve woke up and Adam was like, okay, now I got me a little helpmate. So they procreated. They made a baby. Cain and Abel.
Okay.
Cain got jealous of Abel. So he killed Abel.
What's the question though, brother?
No, I'm getting to it. So God found out and said, I'm gonna kick you out because you done bloodied my soil. I'm gonna kick you out. I'm gonna send you to the land of Nod,
Okay.
where you knew your wife. Who was his wife?
Another woman. Like I said, the Bible don't tell you that Adam was the first created being. It don't tell you that. That's what Christianity teaches people. Like I said, we out here destroying the stronghold of Christianity. We destroying that because the Bible tells you everybody was created at one time. And then he chose Adam. He chose Adam and gave him that breath of life. Yeah, that's like us though. You feel what I'm saying? We are that special people. You can hold that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6 real quick. Okay. Nah, you gotta fly it, right? Make sure you come by, brother. Make sure you come by. We can chop it up a whole lot more. Alright? Yeah, read that for me. I'm gonna let you hear this while you walking off.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art a holy people.
That's the children of Israel. We are holy people, thus saith the Most High, right? Read.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people, that are upon the face of the earth.
Mosai chose the children of Israel to be special and above everybody else.
That's right.
That's why we could beat up everybody else. That's why we could dunk on everybody else.
That's right.
That's why nobody could beat us in anything. Because he made us godly.
Right.
He made us special, above. That's racism right there in the Bible.
That's right.
Above everybody else. Give me Isaiah 45 verse 15 real quick. This is what the Most High thinks about everybody else. Most High only loved Israel. He chose Israel. Read that for me.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 15. Verily thou art our God. You said 50. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Now the Most High said we are special. We are above everybody else. What did he say about the other nations? Read that again.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
All the other nations are as a drop of a bucket. The Most High do not care about them. This is in the Bible.
Right.
This is in the Bible. The Christian church will quickly tell you, love everybody. They want a rainbow coalition. The scriptures say what?
And are counted. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Most High said they are a drop of a bucket. If you're thirsty and you got a bucket with just a drop in it, that's not going to do a damn thing for you.
That's right.
That shows you how the Most High thinks about them. I could turn it around and say it's a full bucket. If you waste a drop, you're not going to care because you got all that other water. No matter how you look at it, the Most High don't care about them people. Point blank, period.
And are counted as a small dust of the balance.
Again, if anybody know about weighing anything, you have dust on your scale, it's not going to weigh. It don't matter. These nations don't matter to the Most High. Right?
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. All nations before him are as nothing.
All these nations before the Most High are as nothing. They are nothing to him. Read.
And they are counted to him less than nothing.
They are counted to him. How you going to be counted less than nothing? It's nothing already. He said they less than nothing. This is your God. But our people want to love everybody. I don't understand that. They want to love it. Oh, if the white man can't make it to heaven, I don't want to be there neither. I actually heard this before. I actually heard this nonsense before. Our people are so beaten down, so destroyed, that they don't realize that God loves them. They can't fathom that God actually loves them. That's sad, but our people need to wake up. They need to wake up. That's it on that, right?
Now read that book. It's the book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
Most High is in the midst of Israel. Everybody else is less than nothing. Israel is special. Israel is above everybody else. And the Most High said he's in the midst of Israel.
And that I am the Lord your God, and none else.
He's the Lord our God. That's our power. And nobody else. That's not nobody else's God. That's the God of Israel. Bashima Mashiach Yahawaah's. All praise. You know what I'm saying? Go back to 2nd Ezra for me. You got 2nd Ezra verse 9? Read that one more time.
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else.
Right. The Most High is in the midst of Israel. This is the Holy Bible we're reading out of. He said he's the Lord our God and none else. Have y'all ever heard that before, brothers? Y'all never heard nothing like that before, huh? Y'all ever heard that y'all Israel before? You never heard that? Really? What's your nationality? What's your nationality? Black? You say you're a descendant of the slave trade? You're not a descendant of the slave trade? Would you say aboriginal? Okay. What about you, brother? You are a black man, so-called black man? All right, well, we actually did come over on slave trade. There was some of us over here too. But guess what? They was enslaved also. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to get all that for y'all. Matter of fact, y'all can drop what y'all got. Give me Daniel chapter 9, verse 1 real quick. Give me Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick, and the other brother can show, break it down for you. Daniel chapter 9, verse, matter of fact, we're going to start at verse 11.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11. They, all Israel, have transgressed thy law.
Now, when you read Deuteronomy 28, right, it tells you when we first entered the covenant with the Most High, He said, if you keep my laws, I'll put you above everybody. You'll be rulers of the world. But if you break my laws, you'll go into slavery. It talks about the slave ships and everything, how we get sold to people, so on and so forth. I don't have too much time. Maybe you could ask your brother, he'll go into it. But he says, we broke all his laws, right, Reed?
Even by departing, that they may not obey thy voice.
So we didn't listen to the Most High. We didn't want to, our people wanted to be homosexual, something He told us not to do. They want to eat pork, shellfish, again, things He told us not to do. They ain't a Christian church. On Sunday worship is wicked as hell. Yeah. The Most High told us we got to keep the 7th day. That's not Sunday. You feel what I'm saying? Read on.
Therefore the curse is poured upon us.
Therefore the curse is poured upon us. The curse that was talked about in Deuteronomy 28. If we don't keep His laws, we will be cursed. We'll go into slavery, right? Read on.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High. Because we have sinned against Him.
Because we sinned. That's the oath that he's talking about. Because we sinned against Him.
Verse 12. And He have confirmed His words.
He confirmed all that. Because we went against Him. We went against everything He told us to do, right, Reed?
Which He spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
Great evil. We're going to see what this great evil is.
For under the whole heaven.
Under the whole heavens. That's during time, space, everything. Under the whole heavens, Reed.
Have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
Nothing has been done worse than what happened to the children of Jerusalem. Let me ask you a question. What was worse than this? Did anybody go through anything worse than that? Give me Joel chapter 3, verse 2. Did anybody go through anything worse than slavery? What we're going through. How our people is getting lynched, and they still getting lynched to this day. We don't got the they still finding brothers lynched to this day. Y'all know that, right? Does anybody went through anything worse than that? There's a clue right there who we are. The children of Israel. Why we don't know that we're the children of Israel? Read that for me.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage.
This is another way. This is another curse that was on us. We left our nationality. We was taught that we was what? Black, which is a color. And that's not even the color of us. Not one of these brothers here is black. Not one of us is black. You're not looking like his brother's shirt. We all different shades of brown.
Right.
But why they put black upon us? You look in the dictionary, black means evil. It means dirty. But they call themselves white, which none of them is white. They all pink. You feel what I'm saying? They call themselves white because white means pure, righteous. That's why they put that. That's a psychological thing that they did to us. Then they tell us we're from Africa. Anybody that live in Africa, they're not going to tell you that they're African. They're going to tell you what country they're from, what tribe they're from. We can't even do that. We say we're African American, have two names of two white men. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
That I gave thee.
So he said we discontinue from the heritage that he gave us. When you read the Bible, Israel was actually put upon the people. He gave us that name. That was an adoption right there. Princes of God. That's exactly what that means. Yasharala. Prince of God. We are the children of the Most High. And we need to come back to Him. Right? Read.
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies.
He caused us to serve our enemies. So we left our heritage, we lost our heritage, our land, our language, our nationality, and we came over here and did what? Read that again.
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies.
And we came over here and served our enemies. Remember, it said, under the whole heavens wasn't done like to Jerusalem. Under the whole heavens wasn't nothing done like to our people. And we came over here, we lost our heritage, our nationality, our language, everything about us, and served people, right?
in the land which thou knowest not.
We didn't know this land when we came over here. When they brought us from them slave ships. We didn't know nothing about this land, right?
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
And we kindled a fire. We pissed the Most High off. So we need to come back to His Lord's statute commandments. I'm going to further show you this transatlantic and sub-Saharan slave trade up here. And I'm going to let the brother come up.
It's the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
This is what's about to happen. World War III. He said he's going to gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's in the Middle East. You see how they setting up now for war. Got Israel, Iran, all these people. Guess what? It's about to go down. Get ready, right? Read.
And will plead with them there for my people.
And the Most High, how the Most High pleads is with fire and sword. You can read that in Isaiah 66. He said he's about to plead with them for his people. Read.
And for my heritage, Israel.
For his heritage, Israel, for us. He's about to plead with them for us. Y'all know about the sub-Saharan slave trade? You never heard about that? How the Arabs took us into slavery and sold us all over in Asia, in the Middle East. And then after that, the transatlantic slave trade. Y'all can look that up. After that, the transatlantic slave trade, they took us everywhere else. Every nation had a part in our captivity. Every single nation. Not one of them didn't have a part in our captivity. Right? Read.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
And they scattered us. How they scattered us? They took boats from the west coast of Africa, where they took them to. You got them Haiti, Jamaica, Puerto Rico. They sent them down to Brazil, America. You know what I'm saying? Scattered us amongst all the nations, read.
And parted my land.
And they parted the Most High's land. The land of the Most High is the land of Israel. Who lives over there in Israel right now? Not us. Got them white people over there and them Arabs fighting over our land. They parted the Most High's land, right? Read.
Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people.
I know what lots are? Lots are the auction blocks that they sold us on. They bid it on us. That's what the lots are. He said they cast lots. They bid it on the Most High's people like we're nothing, right? Read.
And have given a boy for an harlot.
Not only did they sell the boys, when you look at our history, how much y'all know about our history over here in slave trade? Not much? You gotta look into that, brother. A wise brother once told me, if you don't know where you came from, how you know where you're going? Right, you know what I'm saying? We gotta look into our history. We gotta see all this. Look into your history and look into this Bible, and it shows you even more.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We are special people according to the Most High. But he said they sold boy for harlots. They used to rape the men. You know that? They used to rape the men. They used to rape the little boys. These white people are sick. Right. They sick in the head. They rape. You see, pedophilia is big right now. They pushing that big all in Hollywood, they call it now. Right. You know what I'm saying? They rape the little boys. They used to sell the boys into breeding farms, where they would breed them. The guys would have babies. They would have little girls. The girl would grow up, and they would force that little girl to have sex with that same man. This is the type of stuff that they was putting out people, and they didn't even know that was their daughter because they took her away. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of nastiness that they did to our people. They looked at us as animals, right? He said they sold a boy for a harlot,
and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
And sold a girl for wine that they might drink, showing how little they thought of us. They thirsty? Here, take this little girl. Take this little girl, let me get that bottle. Like we nothing. Right? Read.
Verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Tyre and Zidon are Canaanites. Those are so-called Africans. Those are the ones that sold us into slavery.
That's right. Right.
That used to help the white man capture us and sell us into slavery. So the Most High is saying, what have you to do with me? Showing we are not the same people. We was warned against Tyre and Zidon all through the scriptures. Black on black crime, you could say. You know what I'm saying? They our color, but we're not the same people. You know what I'm saying? Read.
In all the coast of Palestine.
In all the coast of Palestine, that's the Philistines, which was the original Egyptians. Now today they will be like Sudanese. You know what I'm saying? They also helped sell us into slavery. Read.
Will ye render me a recompense?
So the Most High asking, how you gonna pay them back for what they did? How they gonna pay the Most High back for selling us into slavery? Right? Read.
And if ye recompense me, Swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
That's right.
What goes around comes around. Guess what? I got good news, brothers. We get back.
That's right.
We get payback for everything that happened to us. The Most High said he's going to turn that recompense upon their own heads, meaning guess what? We're going to be selling them into slavery. These white folks that was hanging us, guess what? You're going to have a hanging tree for them white folks.
That's right.
They want to shoot us down in the streets, we're going to shoot them down in the streets.
That's right.
Right? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. The Most High
right.
does not change. He does not change.
That's right.
Matter of fact, give me on Revelation 13.
Verse 5.
13, verse 10.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
Because they took the Most High silver and gold. Not only did they take literal silver and gold, but constantly through the scriptures, the Most High calls us his gold. You know what I'm saying? They took us, right? Read.
And have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
They took our physical gold out of our temples and carried it in their temples, and they got us in their temples also. They got our people in the Egyptology and Kemet worshiping all these other different deities. You know what I'm saying? Most High hated that.
Verse 6. The children also of Judah
Children of Judah, right?
and the children of Jerusalem
So the children of Judah and children of Jerusalem, that's singling out the southern kingdom, the so-called blacks. When you look on this chart right here, all these people went into slavery. Even the ones that was over here already. You got the Gadites, the Reubenites, and all the other northern kingdom was already over here, and they went on slave ships to the islands, to Europe, so on and so forth, different areas. But this is signifying these three tribes right here, which is the so-called Negroes, so-called West Indians, and so-called Haitians. He said the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, that's the southern kingdom, right, Reed?
Have ye sold unto the Grecians?
Have they sold to the Grecians? Who are the Grecians? Come on. Alexander the Greek, the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, all them statues you see of them white people. The Greek Empire was the first great white nation. The Most High said these Africans sold us to white people. That's what that scripture is saying. How you sold to the Grecians, Reed.
That ye might remove them far from their border.
Which we far from the land of Israel right now. We far from our border, Reed.
Verse 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head.
Most High said he's going to raise us out of this place where we were sold. He's going to raise us from over here, and he's going to return that recompense upon all their heads. Because of what they did to us, we get a chance to do it back to them. Read that for me.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. Behold, he that leadeth into captivity.
He that leadeth into captivity, we was led into captivity, right? We was led into captivity. They stole us and put us in captivity. What's going to happen to them?
Shall go into captivity.
They're going to go into captivity.
That's right. He that killeth with the sword.
Ain't they still kneeling on our necks, hanging us, gunning us down, choking us out? Right? Read.
Must be killed with the sword.
All praises to the Most